Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. So guys, you've probably heard the big news. It's broken all over social media. Manny Pacquiao is to run for president of the Philippines in 2022. This is incredible news for one of, in my opinion, the greatest fighters of all time, and an inspirational figure, a guy that's come from nothing to really become one of the greatest fighters of all time. And not just that, now he's taking it, now he's looking to have a political career where he wants to become a great president and help his Filipino people. And you've got to commend Manny Pacquiao. Guys, before we get into it, make sure you smash the like button on this video. You got to smash the like button for this video, because this video is special, because this video is about Manny Pacquiao and Manny Pacquiao potentially becoming president of the Philippines. So I thank you for your support, and I know I've got a lot of subscribers from the Philippines, and I know you're gonna have your say and you're gonna have your opinions about this particular news that I'm gonna speak about right now. But smash the like button and show your support. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell if you haven't. Share the videos. I really appreciate it, guys. Yeah, so Manny Pacquiao, this is a very, very big moment. He's going to stand for presidency in 2022. Firstly, you've got to congratulate him. Hopefully he wins and he becomes president. I don't know the political situation in the Philippines. Maybe you guys can tell me a bit more. I spoke to a few people and they said Manny Pacquiao won't win. That was a while back. I don't know whether they were just saying it. But I would love to know, the political position. I would love to know, what does Manny Pacquiao have a good chance of becoming president? I don't know. Maybe you guys can give me some information, because obviously I don't know what's happening in the Philippines. I don't know the situation there. So maybe you guys can tell me in the comment section. And as you guys know, I read your comments. But this is unbelievable stuff. This is a guy, Manny Pacquiao, who came from nothing. He defied the odds in boxing, coming from nothing. He was a replacement opponent for Ledwaba, and he ended up beating Ledwaba. And then the rest is history. The rest is Manny Pacquiao achieving great things inside a boxing ring, becoming an 8-division world champion, a guy moving up 8 divisions, literally battering guys, beating guys up in the boxing ring. And to me, at one point, he's definitely, in my lifetime of watching boxing, since I got into watching boxing, he was the most devastating fighter that I saw in his peak. He was unbelievable. He was sensational. He was a joy to watch. He was a fan-friendly fighter, tough man, just a warrior, a proper warrior. And as you guys know, I'm a massive Manny Pacquiao fan. I'm a huge Manny Pacquiao fan. And Manny Pacquiao's given us a lot of thrills and spills, over his career. And he's been in some great fights. He's been in some serious wars. Manny Pacquiao's done it all. He's done it all. Let's be real. He's done it all in the game of boxing. There's nothing in the sport of boxing that Manny Pacquiao hasn't done. He's done it all. He's been involved in some of the biggest fights in the history of the sport. He's had some iconic, legendary wins. Just a great, great fighter. Just a great, great fighter. And he's obviously fought recently and he lost to Ugas. There was a lot of question marks. There was rumors that he was going to fight Ugas again. There was murmurs of January. He may fight him in January. There was rumors about him potentially fighting him January. Manny Pacquiao, as we know, is a competitor. He wants to fight the best. And that loss wouldn't have sit well with Manny Pacquiao. As we know, Manny Pacquiao, he doesn't like to lose. He's a winner. And he probably wanted to avenge his loss against Dennis Ugas. But now there's going to be question marks raised about his boxing career and his boxing future. Does this mean that Manny Pacquiao will retire? Will he be able to fight? I don't know. He's gonna he's obviously been elected to run president, or he's gonna look to run for presidency. Does that mean that he could have a fight in January? I don't know. I don't know the situation. But right now, I think this is bigger than boxing. I'm pretty sure it's bigger than boxing for him as well. This is very, 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 very big news for Manny Pacquiao, because this is something that he's wanted to do. You know, you've heard that Manny Pacquiao wants to be the president of the Philippines. He wants to, he's had it hard. He's had it hard. You know, he's a guy that's come from nothing. So he wants to change that. He knows that he lives in a country where there's a lot of people that are probably living in poverty. So he wants to change that. He wants to make a change. We know that Manny Pacquiao is a very, very great man in terms of doing charity work, and he's a very giving man. But as a boxing channel, this may be the end of Manny Pacquiao in terms of his boxing career. And we may not get to see. I know my good friend James Deere left a comment on a video that I did about Canelo. He said, I'm quite surprised you haven't done a Manny Pacquiao video saying that how he's going to run for presidency and he's ducking you, Dennis Ugas. Behave, James. You know, James messing around there. James, my good friend James has always been a guy that, leaves his thoughts in the comment section. But James, I've got to disagree with you there. This is bigger than boxing. This is about making change for his country. But I'm pretty sure the competitor that Manny Pacquiao is, that loss that he had against Dennis Ugas won't sit well with him. And I'm pretty sure he would want to avenge that loss. Is he going to fight Dennis Ugas? I don't know. Dennis Ugas has been ordered to fight his WBA mandatory. That might be an indication to the Pacquiao fight not happening. That might be an indication that maybe the Pacquiao fight's not going to happen. So maybe that's an indication to the fans that, the Pacquiao rematch isn't going to happen. And maybe Ugas is told to go in a different direction. Because I'm pretty sure if Manny Pacquiao had that in the contract, then the rematch would happen. So is this now that he's running for president, is that going to be difficult for him to fight again? I think I was speaking to my dad the other day, and my dad said if he becomes president, surely he can't fight as a president. I'd like to think so. I don't know whether he'll look to have a fight in between before he actually, the campaigns and stuff start. I don't know the score. I'm not a political person, so I'm pretty sure you have rallies and stuff where you go to different cities and you do speeches and stuff, to basically is part of your campaign to become president, right? So I'm pretty sure Manny Pacquiao will do that as well. So will he get time? Because this is, being a senator now looking to become a president, here in the UK we say prime minister, you're in charge of the whole country. That's a big responsibility. We're talking about being a prime minister of a country, or president in Philippines, they call it. That's a big responsibility. You're in charge of the whole country, so surely he won't be able to box. I don't, again, he may not win, so we don't know, we don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, he hasn't officially announced anything about his boxing career. Will he fight on? I don't know. I would love to see him fight Ugas again, because I still think he can beat Ugas. I know a lot of people want to see Manny retire. They feel that Manny's career he's not the same fighter, so they want him to call it a day. And they don't want to see him fight again. I personally think that he can fight again. I personally think that Manny still has something left. Now, does that mean he has something left to beat a Crawford and Spence? Probably not. But for me, he can beat Ugas. And for me, this becomes a big fight. And him beating Ugas becomes a legacy-defining thing, because Manny Pacquiao will become champion again, and he can go out on a high. Because before, Ugas wasn't a legacy fight. It was a fight that it was supposed to see Manny just go in there and win. Now it becomes a legacy fight, because now people think Ugas beats Manny. So it becomes a fight where if Manny was to win, he'll prove a lot of people wrong. Just like when he lost to Jeff Horn, people thought that was the end of Manny Pacquiao. But Manny Pacquiao came back with some really good wins. He beat Keith Thurman, who a lot of people thought he would lose to. So again, I think Manny Pacquiao has proven many people wrong before. So it would be wrong to write him off. but he is getting older by the day. He's not getting any younger. So let's see, man. Let's see what happens. Is he gonna fight you, Dennis Ugas? The fact that, like I said earlier, that the fact that Ugas has been ordered to fight is mandatory tells me that maybe this rematch isn't gonna happen. But yeah, what a career it's been for, what a boxing career Manny Pacquiao's had. What a career, what a journey, what a story, what an inspirational story. It's a story where you'd have to say that, it's a fairy tale, man. It's a fairy tale in the sense that, this is a movie, This is a movie. Manny Pacquiao came from nowhere to become one of the greatest boxers of all time, and now he's looking to become the prime minister of his country. You couldn't write a story better than that. It's unbelievable what Manny Pacquiao's achieved and what he's looking to achieve going forward. Manny Pacquiao is looking not just to be a great boxer, which he is. He's already achieved. He was only one of the greatest. Now he's looking to have a political career and take his legend to another status. Take his legend to another status. So yeah, he's always been somebody that I've admired, always been somebody that I've looked up to and I've adored. Basically, I think he's been, of this generation, for me, since I got into watching boxing, he's been the greatest fighter for me to watch. Now I know there's been disputes. Like, I prefer him over Floyd just because I just prefer his style. I prefer, I just prefer what, his warrior type of fighting style. Not just that, he'll take on anyone. Yeah, so I've preferred Manny Pacquiao, but Floyd is great as well. I don't want some of the Floyd fans to come at me. Floyd is great as well. And I appreciate what Floyd did in the sport of boxing. But again, when you've got two great fighters, you prefer, it's your opinion. It's who you prefer. It's who you like better. Thing is, with me, I'm not like a Manny Pacquiao fanboy where I'm trying to put Floyd down. Floyd is great, man. For me, Floyd is great as well. I believe he's the greatest defensive fighter I've ever seen and one of the greatest fighters of all time. I have Manny Pacquiao and Floyd both in my top 5 greatest fighters of all time. I think they're both. I think Mayweather was a genius in terms of what he did inside a boxing ring, and Manny Pacquiao was just. He was just a brute. He used to obliterate guys. In his prime, he was sensational. Pacquiao was sensational. And for me, was more sensational than Mayweather. Mayweather was just a master. He was a master at work. He was very difficult to hit, and he was just a very, very gifted defensive fighter. And he was very difficult to beat. He mastered the art of winning, which is a very hard art to master, but he found a way to win. Even though at times it may be ugly, it may not be the most prettiest to watch. But he knew how to win. He was a very, very gifted fighter. He was a very, very skilled boxer. And you have to give Mayweather credit for that. You have to give Mayweather credit. Whether you dislike him or like him, you have to give Mayweather credit where it's due. And Mayweather was a very gifted fighter. Pacquiao wasn't as skilled, but Pacquiao was he was relentless. He had some of the fastest hands in boxing. He had power as well, and in his prime, like I said, he was sensational. In his prime, I haven't seen, I didn't get to see Mike Tyson in his prime. I didn't get to see Marvin Hagler. I didn't get to see all of those guys, but I got to see Manny Pacquiao, and he was sensational in his prime. One of the best in his prime. And like I said, if it is the end of Manny Pacquiao's career, it's going to be sad. Obviously, he's not officially announced, but when that day does come and Manny Pacquiao does announce his retirement from boxing, it's going to be very sad because, like I said, he's somebody that got me into the sport of boxing. Or somebody when I first started watching, I gravitated to. I started watching immediately because he was just so. I remember when I was going to college one day. And I remember speaking to one of my mates and just saying, Manny Pacquiao, man, the guy's crazy, innit? He's just, guy's ridiculous. You know, and like literally having that talk with my friend about Manny Pacquiao, because that's what Pacquiao was at that time. In 2008, 9, 7, I remember when I was at college, like people were just in awe of Pacquiao. He was just special. Do you know what I mean? He was just, people were in awe. He was just great. But yeah, guys, leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. What do you think of Manny Pacquiao's career? What do you think of his potential president run as president? Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'd love to know your opinion, guys. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.